Come on, Sister Hook.
All right, I know our multimedia was going to switch over to the new one, and I think we are ready for the new stream. So, good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ. Good morning. Good morning. So, I come to you this morning wearing a different hat. Sonia Baccus Hooks, the Director of Marketing and Logistics for Concerned Citizens Community Involvement. So, I am that as a volunteer. It is our nonprofit arm of the Southside Church of Christ. So, we are having some special presentations for you today that we wanted to celebrate with each and every one of you who came today as our family and friends and our members up here at Southside who work so tirelessly for us in all of these endeavors. We're going to have a little bit of partnerships from our dignitaries that are here with us today, and this just is going to take a couple of minutes, but we have some great and exciting news we'd like to present to you today. So without further ado, I'd like to invite to the stage our Executive Director of Concerned Citizens Community Involvement, who happens to be my little brother. And I'm so excited to welcome to the stage Carl Christopher Baccus.
This younger brother, not little brother. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it right. So our first partnership that we wanted to announce, I want to take you back, 1978, a group of individuals at this congregation and another congregation decided to start Concerned Citizens Community Involvement. Some of those original board members, Willa Mae Bailey, y'all remember Sister Willa Mae Bailey, Sister Bobby Lanham, who is here, and all right, Brother Billy Curl, minister of the Crenshaw Church of Christ, he was on our original board, and obviously Dr. Baccus, my father, who had the vision with Concerned Citizens to set up an entity that focused on health, education, and well-being. And we'll talk about how we've expanded that mission over the last few years. And so about 18 years ago, some of y'all remember when we started back, kind of what we were doing. And some of y'all remember we had the New Focus Christian School here in the 80s. Sister Linda Jones was one of our executive directors over there, and we have some teachers from around the city who've been at other congregations. But about 18 years ago is when I kind of stepped in and said, let me take the torch. And it was an unfortunate event that kind of spurred that. And, obviously it was the passing of my mother and Sister Jerry Baccus, who all of her first cousins are here. Good to see Sister Vivian and Darlene from Michigan. And her sister is here, Sister Bobby Locker from the Normandy, and her brother, Buford Keith Harrell. And when that happened, it was given to me, said, well, Chris, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna mourn, or are you gonna celebrate? And so we as a family and we as a congregation decided to celebrate. And one of the things we did, we started that first scholarship, if y'all remember, Jerry's Kids Scholarship. That was 18 years ago. We put a lot of kids through college, through the marriage of the Vessels of the Master's Youth Scholarship and the Concerned Citizens Scholarship. We have people that went to Harvard. We have people that went to USC, Pepperdine, et cetera, that we supported, Spelman, and we supported all over the years. And then there was a company that came in our first golf tournament that said, we want to support you, and this was almost 20 years ago, and that company was AT&T. Let's give them a hand. Literally, they have been our supporter for over 20 years, and not just saying congratulations, but writing checks. It takes money to help people. It takes money to do some of the things you're going to hear about. And we can't do it alone as a congregation here. And so as a nonprofit, separate entity, 501c3, we were able to go out and promote what we wanted to do for the community. And AT&T has been on board at the beginning. Now this young lady I'm getting ready to introduce, she's a part of the history of this congregation too. Her family is. And now she is obviously a great executive at AT&T. She's been there 3 years. Is it 3 years? 5 years. Oh my gosh, that time has flown. But I've got some plaques in my dad's office. I got some plaques in the library upstairs by her esteemed and honorable Rod Wright, who's our state senator, and he joined us today too. He's been supporting us in the state assembly for decades, on top of decades, with legislation. Part of the reason why we have some of the housing funding that you hear about is because of brothers like Rod Wright. So Mr. Honorable Rod Wright, if you could stand up, appreciate you supporting us. Alumni of Pepperdine University with my cousin Sandra was there, so right down the street when it was still in the neighborhood. And so we appreciate you coming and just saying hello again. And we may have to take a historic photo, bring the plaques from the office with you all and say that the legacy continues. And so Sister Mackenzie Neely Wright, the Director and Area Manager of External Affairs, has been passed the baton to make sure that local community organizations get support from Fortune 500 billionaire companies. And so they've been invested here and they've been invested in us. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart before you even come up here. She's been a great pleasure to work with as a part of the community efforts that she's been doing with other organizations, Brotherhood Crusade, et cetera, Urban League. But we thank you for supporting us and not forgetting about us. So come on up, Mackenzie. We welcome you to the stage.
All right, that was more than I was expecting, so I'm like blushing and almost in tears. All right, good morning, church. Special guests, friends, and family, I send greetings from my home church as a member and officer of First AME Church of Los Angeles, and I'm glad to be in the Lord's house one more time. I am Mackenzie Neely Wright, and I do external and legislative affairs at AT&T, and I represent Mid and South Los Angeles and the South Bay. I would first like to thank Dr. Baccus for allowing us to participate in Southside Church of Christ's Friends and Family Sunday. Next, I would like to thank Chris Baccus, who is the Executive Director of Concerned Citizens Community Involvement, and Sonia Baccus, who leads management and logistics for the organization. It's been a pleasure working with you both. Oh, I was like, where did she go? She jumped back over there. Okay, so CCCI does incredible work, and I'm honored to be able to support the mission. But before I get started with the presentation, I am honored to be able to also welcome some invited guests. And there are some people that were supposed to be here, and we'll get them to say something a little bit later. But first, representing California Assemblymember Tina McKinner's office, District 61, we have Ms. Haley Hutt.
Good morning, church. Thank you for having me this morning. My name is Haley Hutt, Field Deputy for Assemblymember Tina McKinner, who represents Inglewood, Hawthorne, Lawndale, right when you land in LAX, Westchester, Playa del Rey, Venice Community, Marina del Rey, and a little bit of the South Bay Gardena area. I'm here today on behalf of the Assemblywoman who sends her regrets this morning as she was unable to attend due to illness. I'm here to present a certificate of recognition to concerned citizens of community involvement. It reads, congratulations on receiving this AT&T grant. The work you do to educate youth on digital literacy, responsible use of technology, and digital well-being, as well as help train students to provide the support to older adults to teach at the Tech Center, is to be commended. On behalf of the 61st Assembly District, thank you and congratulations, and may you have continued success to your future endeavors. Side note, a little bit on this. I just have an appreciation for this organization and this in particular. As we go into a new generation of technology, it is important that the youth teach the next generation or the generations before us. So it is important that you guys are doing that work with the youth and teaching, because my mom this morning on my way to church this morning was asking me, as I was on my way here on the phone, how do I check my she was looking for something specific in her email. So it's important that we all learn how to get on those technologies. So thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for having me today.
Okay, and not finally, but also the Honorable Rod Wright, Chris teed him up, who served in both the California State Legislature and the Assembly, and who I also get the honor of calling my dad. Come on up, say some remarks.
You can tell when you're getting old when you're being introduced by your baby daughter. But this is a historic moment for me. I remember when Dr. Baccus was building this church what seems like 100 years ago. And for the young people who don't know, Pepperdine used to be on 79th in Vermont before they went to Malibu. Then I was elected then as the second African American student body president. But there were a number of changes that Pepperdine had to go through. And so I remember going to Pepperdine years ago, and you had to go to chapel twice a week. And I thought, this got to be the most different thing I've ever encountered, having to go to chapel twice a week. But I can tell you that by my sophomore year, it was something that I came to look forward to. I did have to get used to the fact that there was no piano or organ in this service, but that was just something that also grew on me. So thank you again for allowing me to be here today and welcoming my daughter and all the things that you've done. As I look at the old parking lot that's now an apartment building, as I look at some of the other things that have gone on in this community. Having moved here, as I did in 1955, it looks a little different than when I first got here. Thank you all so much, and God bless.
All right, so what exactly am I doing here on this fine Sunday and missing my Baltimore Ravens game against the Steelers? Note my colors, note my colors. Thank you for asking. I am here to celebrate the hard work and programming of concerned citizens' community involvement. Today's presentation is a part of AT&T's commitment to help bridge the digital divide in California and includes investing in organizations and programs that help people within our communities to have digital tools that they need to develop digital literacy skills and thrive in our modern world. This effort is part of AT&T Connected Learning Initiative to help address the digital divide through internet accessibility, affordability, and safe adoption. AT&T is committing $5 billion to help 25 million people get and stay connected to high-speed internet by 2030. This has, thank you for that. This has included distributing more than 26,000 devices to students and their families across California since 2021. That was right after, or at the start of the pandemic, if you will, and we realized that there was a real need within the communities to bridge the digital divide. We, but more me, are proud to provide this $20,000 grant check to concerned citizens community involvement to support their programs that benefit students, families, and seniors within our communities. This grant will support Concerned Citizens Community Involvement Digital Bites program, which educates youth on digital literacy and robotics, responsible use of technology, and digital well-being. Funds are also to support the new tech center at the Serenity Senior Apartments, just next door, and help train students to provide support to the residents at the center. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, so thank you again to the concerned citizens, community involvement, our elected officials and representatives, esteemed guests for coming out today to celebrate this occasion. We appreciate your commitment and collaboration as we continue bridging the digital divide within our communities and work together to build brighter futures in the digital age for our students, families, and seniors. Again, I am Mackenzie Neely-Wright with AT&T, and thank you for having me today. Wishing you all a very happy holiday season. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. And you know, the initiative that we have, some of you all remember the Limitless STEM initiative, where we had students going all over the country, flying around the country, competing in robotics. That's because of AT&T. We were able to pay the airplane tickets, and meals. We had, the kids had per diems every day where they were able to eat. That's because of AT&T. And so now, as we're getting ready to transition and have an actual tech space and tech center, we're gonna be bringing in students to actually help train and get our seniors in our housing development up on technology. How do I do a medical appointment online? How do I do digital banking? How do I have all my appointments and scheduled and emails? That's what we're getting ready to have, student ambassadors. So all young people in here, you're gonna have an opportunity for a job. I don't care if you're middle school and up. You're gonna have an opportunity to help train seniors, not only in that space, but the thousands that are coming to the space with our Uplift program, which we'll talk about here in a second. And so just to highlight and just say thank you for a few of the other successes, we will be very brief. I just wanted to say thank you. You know, obviously the digital stuff, we're doing a great job with that, but there's some on the ground stuff we do every week. That's Saturday morning, our food program. Calculated so far this year, we've served over 6,000 people that have come to this line on Saturday mornings. Our partnership with Trader Joe's is strong. I was hoping Brother Lawrence Jackson is here, former NFL player, USC player. He's the one that established that connection with Trader Joe's for us. So thank you, Brother Lawrence. I'll make sure he sees that video. Remember that 6,000 people that have come here. Don't forget that they have families, right? So if you have an average of 2 people per household, we're talking about 12, 15, 13, 20,000 people that we have serviced up until yesterday. I did the count up until yesterday. So all of those who are involved in packing those bags, picking up the groceries, driving a van, Brother Jonathan Burnley, who's our driver, and Brother Willie Kalklut, who's our supporter and picking up the groceries at 2 locations at Trader Joe's now. We only had one for about 5 years. Now we got 2 locations. So they're coming back with a van full of food every week. Everybody stand on up if you have touched a grocery bag this year, if you've helped with over 6,000. Everybody, if you touch it, yeah, I see you. If you come here, and again, remind people, we start lining up at 9 o'clock. They start lining up at 8:30, actually. But we start passing out around 10 o'clock, so please, if there's anybody that's in need, please look forward to doing that. And speaking of food, stealthily and quietly, we got a grant from the Durfee Foundation, the Welk Foundation, and a few other foundations where we were able to start what we call the Umoja Food Collective. And the Umoja Food Collective. And you can go to umojafood.org and see what that mission is all about. But briefly, we started that to help support Black business restaurant owners to make sure that they had the access to opportunities in and around the country, the Los Angeles airport, USC, the Olympics coming up. So what we've been doing is taking the funds and consulting with these Black restaurants, places that you know, places like Post and Bean, places like the Toss Up. We've been going and frequenting that. And so we've been helping them, giving them professional development, helping them consulting, hiring professional consultants, getting them ready, what we call contract ready, helping them get certified with the federal government, the world airport, so that they can start competing for those billion-dollar contracts in and around. So we have about 8 restaurants that we are supporting currently in that initiative. And the leader of that initiative, Sister Brianna Hawkins and Rajay Branch, they have decided to take that on for us and lead the effort in the community to help our Black businesses. Rajay is our executive director, and we've been given the great fortune of being able to spin that off into its own separate nonprofit. So we've got that designation already. The great work of our volunteer hours from Paul Hastings, which is one of the largest law firms in the world. They were able to help us set up our Umoja Food Collective nonprofit. So you'll be hearing a lot more about the Umoja Food Collective in the coming years, and all of the things that we have on board with some of the food that you'll be tasting next week. For those of you who signed up for a Thanksgiving meal, will be from one of our Umoja Food restaurants, Black-owned catering company that we were able to help get about $4 million worth of contracts here in the city. So God bless those sisters who are doing work, Brianna and Rajay. And thank you. 2 more. Sister Sonia Hooks is coming back to announce one of our great partnerships along with the digital divide that we are conquering.
Right, thank you, Chris. I've always believed in the mantra, too much is given, much is required. So when you bring your talents, that you've acquired in the business sector to the Lord. So I'm proud to bring my alumni, Cal State Dominguez Hills, who was a partner and with Concerned Citizens to help close the digital divide. So many of you who qualified were able to get those laptops through the Workforce Integration Network. And we have Dr. Elena Aswaga here today to say a few words and just thank us for working with them and partnering with them. So come on.
Good morning. How many of y'all have heard of California State University, Dominguez Hills? Nice. Good to hear. So thank you for having me here today. So we've been blessed to be working with Sonia and have so far, through the National Telecommunication Information Association, have passed out 320 laptops to all of you. So it's been our pleasure. And then extending that support, today there'll be some digital mice that'll also be handed out. So hope that you all can take advantage of that. We have used this grant to also train up many of our students to be those digital navigators. So we talk about the digital divide, and we also talk about digital opportunity. So we've learned a bit about what we as a partner in the community can do, and want to bring our students here to help you all and help also the students that come through your institution to learn how to do the best that they can in the service and the support that they're providing. We're also applying for a couple of other grants, so fingers crossed. The grant that we have now is $5 million. We're applying for a $12 million and a $3 million to continue to build our capacity to serve all of you in our community. So best wishes for Happy Holiday, and if you want to learn more about what we're doing or ways that we can stay connected, we're working closely with Sonia and look forward to seeing you all involved in the programs and the work that you're doing. Thank you.
So as Dr. Alana said, we do have wireless mice. And if you need a wireless mouse to go along with your laptop, or any of you need a wireless mouse, you'll be able to pick one up over in the overflow today. So we really appreciate them coming, and we look forward to our continued partnership with us. I did want to make one other note with that giving of the laptops. Each one of the seniors that are going to be housed in Serenity are also going to get a device, either an iPad or laptop, when they are loaded into their new community housing. So we're grateful for that also. Thank you.
Urban Partners Lifting Innovation for Tomorrow. Uplift. That is our initiative that we announced a few months ago with the Los Angeles Urban League. You can go on their website, and it describes very well what our goal is with that initiative. But the main goal is that the Los Angeles Urban League will be our downstairs tenant in our Serenity housing complex. So they'll be taking a whole 1,500 square feet as a satellite office. So as you guys pass now, you can actually see the frame of the storefront actually being built now. Those three little steel awnings in the front, that's the storefront. And above it, what we hope to do is, as we continue to fundraise, create a technology loft as a part of that also. So we'll be having a lot of seminars, workforce development, so they'll be bringing all of their programming here to South L.A., not just on Crenshaw Boulevard, on Manchester. And we're gonna have a great presence here with Concerned Citizens, with the church. We'll have thousands of people coming here for workforce development programs. One of the programs we're gonna start is charger repair services. So you know the chargers that you plug your cars in? Well, if you've ever driven a non-Tesla, some of those are always broken. If you've ever gone to the mall, if anybody has electric, they're always broken. But nobody thought about actually creating an economy to repair those. So there's a young sister, Camille Terry, who grew up right here on 85th and Western. And she started a business and a workforce development program. She's raised over $25 million for this program. And we're gonna start teaching people how to repair that technology. So that's one of the innovations that we're going to do here, right here at Serenity. So Uplift, take a look at that. And lastly, an update on Serenity. And so as you all heard last week, we're at 89% completion. Today, I've got a surprise for you. Because what we're getting ready to do is redo all of this parking in the back. Today, once you go out today, I'm gonna allow you, do not go into the dirt. You don't wanna mess up your shoes anyway. But you're gonna be able to go out on the backside of where the ministers used to park. And I want you to see, because all of y'all have been there, where we gonna park? Where we gonna park? Today, you can see the parking lot. You'll see the double-decker parking out there. So I want you to take a view of all of that beautiful concrete that was poured and put down there. And I want you to go out there, and as we go out for fellowship, we're gonna open the doors in the fellowship hall. You can just go out, take a peek, take pictures, see what it's gonna look like, see where you'll be parking, and I'll be out there to kind of guide you guys to have a visual of what it looks like and where we're gonna be parking. But today, that is the day to do that, because in the next 2 weeks, we're tearing all of that up and repaving, reconcreting this whole area too. And so also we'll be doing all of the concrete on Manchester. We gotta tear all of that up. We gotta put new concrete, new curbs, new gutters, new light poles, new trees, new bike racks. So we'll be doing all of that too in the next 2 weeks. So I'll be making that announcement here soon, that eventually, in about 3 weeks, we will not be able to park on Manchester just for about 10 days while the concrete cures. And so those are some of the updates that we have. We are fully in tenant lease-up mode. We will also we just got our grant to actually do the tenant improvements for the commercial space. So we'll be hiring an architect to start building out that tech center and commercial space. So God is moving, y'all. God is moving, and it's been a great process. And lastly, I just wanted to thank my sisters, Sister Sonia Hooks. She has been a stalwart and my road dog and rolling on a lot of these things that we do. You know, people used to always ask us, do you guys have grant writers? I said, you looking at them. We started writing these grants back in the day, and now to have the support of people like Brianna and that next generation of kids that we've seen grown up pour into this work, bring their talents back to the community work. It's been a pleasure. And I just also wanted to thank, you know, we just finished our Safe Serve selection program, our Safe Serve certification program that we have with the county, and we trained some individuals to get ready for the food service industry, to be workers in the hospitality industry. And so on Wednesdays, we've been opening it up and having a kitchen, and people have been in there learning how to cook properly and cut stuff properly. But we couldn't do that without Sister Belinda, Sister Monica, and Brother Keith Harrell, who were dedicated to making sure. Raise your hand, Sister Belinda. Raise your hand, Keith. I don't see Monica here today. She's probably helping. There she is, Monica. We could not do that without you. We've serviced hundreds of people this year with our robotics program and the food program because of individuals like that who dedicated their time. And so in conclusion, I just want to say God bless you and thank you. Thank you for the legacy, as I mentioned before, of you know, the things that we've done. You know, sometimes through tragedy comes opportunity. And like I said, you know, the losing of my mom, it kind of sparked something in me to get about this work, about this business. You know, it's unfortunate, but I'm thankful for the love that I still have. And that's through my family, through the friends, through the Southside family. And y'all just keep loving us, loving me. And we're going to do this love project through the community. Let's keep working. Let's keep fighting for the things that we know that we need. And we're going to let it rise. We're going to let it rise, and we're going to let it rise. As we rise this building up, we might as well say, let it rise. Come on.
We do want to remind you that we're going to have a fellowship for all of our friends and family in the fellowship hall, so please do that. If you do need to throw away your communion receptacles, ushers are standing by when you leave, or give your offering. Let the Spirit of the Lord rise among us. Let the Spirit of the Lord, oh, let it rise among us. Let the praise of our King, oh, let it rise among us. Let it rise. And oh, sing, let it rise. Oh, the praises of the Lord, oh, let them rise among us. Let the praises of the Lord, oh, let them rise among us. Let the praises of our King, oh, let them rise among us. Let it rise. Dismissed. May God bless you and keep you.